Morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, the Student Trader channel, and it is me, your boy Source. I am your host today once again. I'm happy to be here with you actually. Today is Monday, December the 15th. And this is episode day number 4. Yeah, day 4 of this journey with you guys. I decided to add a little twist to this segment, which I don't have a date of when I'm going to stop doing these recordings yet. But what I did want to do is bring a challenge account into this. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep doing these recordings until we pass a challenge and get a payout. So without further ado, this is what we're currently working with. Right now, we have price action. This is happening from last week. Obviously, we always clear out our charts after trading sessions. So we're currently on a 15-minute time frame. If we go to the hourly real quick while price is dumping down, we can see that the market that from last week, we've had this previous day high that was taken, and we can see that we are roughly back at the top of this zone here. But price did not take the high. It swept inside here instead and did an inducement. Now, was this a medium inducement or was this a minor inducement? That's the question we are asking ourselves right now to know if we are going to continue bullish. So let's go ahead and mark a medium for now, and we'll go down to the 15-minute so we can identify. Now, was this a structure? Was this a high that led to a low that broke structure? Well, we know this high led to this low breaking structure, but we want to know, was this wick here considered a high? Let's try the 5-minute. See if there's a 5-minute structure there. And yes, indeed, there is a 5-minute structure right here. Now, if I can recall, I remember there was a time, we could say let to this low as well. I remember there was a time that Yerimi broke down a medium inducement um, that happened in a chart, and one of them was based off of a 15-minute structure that was taken, but it wasn't a structure on the 15 like this one here. It was more of a structure on a time. It was like a 5-minute or something like that. So my only thing now is I'm wondering, could this be one of these same scenario of could this also be a breakup structure based on this higher time frame, this 15-minute wick, and then this 5-minute structure that we see here. So if this is a medium inducement, what would we want to see? We want to see price, push down to take the lows, of course. We know that there are trend lines within the chart that we can be looking at. This right here, is this a trend line or am I forcing it? Let me see. No, this is actually a clear trend line. I don't think I'm forcing it. 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 tap, 4 tap, 5 tap, 6 tap, 7 tap. So I'm not forcing it. So as much as I would want to see a potential in this here zone, this right here zone, I feel like it's a little too obvious. It's an obvious zone. So I'll mark this as a weak demand. Perhaps we may get a reaction from it because it did cause this breakup structure, took out this M15 trading range. It broke structure to the buy side and then induced this high. So perhaps price could react from here and take off. But being that this is a strong 5-minute trend line, I would not want to immediately take that buy. Now we could, and especially because if we see this channel here, that price is walking on. Let me see. Yeah, we could see on this channel the price is working its way up on that this could easily be the push to the downside first in order to break above. That's how the channel work. Price will push to the down, mitigate here, mitigate zone, and then push up, which could easily be this zone here. So let's not, before I put it as a weak demand, let's first start it off as a high time frame demand. Because if price does give us a setup entry model here, we can take an entry. How big is it? It is a 6 pip stop loss. So it's very well small enough to take a aggressive entry. but I'm not a big fan of aggressive entries. And we also see there was a channel here as well. Price wick under took the top side, but then now we're in this channel here. If I did on a 5 minute, it's more of this channel. Maybe on a 3 minute it might give me more. Yeah, give me better candles to place the start of the wick on top of, which would be right here. So yeah, so let's not forget, I am going to try to bring a challenge account into um this journey of ours, this recording. Let me first sign in to this account. And what I want to do is sign in on this account on this monitor so that you guys also see the ups and downs it goes through. Um, Update password. Okay, perfect. Password is updated. Let's go and see what we can do. Okay. So let's do the 100K challenge. Okay. Let's do the 100K challenge. Okay, open trading app or trading. There we go. This looks quite different. Is this the real platform? I don't think so. Let's go back. So we're watching price approach our zone for now. So let's let the market do its thing. Okay, I think this is the trading platform. Let's move it up here. Just looks a bit different than before. So let me see if I can sort some things out. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, this looks very different, guys, from what I had it as before. Okay, so account. Not sure what I'm looking at either. This was not the way it looked before. So I don't know how much I like this symbol. It's trying to tell me that there's an app. So if there's an app, perhaps we can use the app. Let me see here. It's crazy stuff, man. Crazy stuff. Okay, so yeah, let's try to use the one on the phone. Yeah. It looks like we can try to execute trades from the one on the phone. And what we'll do is we'll be able to pull it up on the screen here to be able to show up on the chart as well while we're in there. So I think that would be our best bet for now. So yeah, let's carry on. Okay, back to the analysis. Don't know why this here. Very strange. This is a new way they've put the dashboard. I wish I could give you guys more of an idea, but it's kind of Euro USD, trade UAE, I'm kind of selected for this. Like, it's like they've made it a way where it looks so complex on the screen. This is really, it looks like you're trading stock options. Literally, it look like you're trading stock options. And this is called TX3 funding. So yeah, it's the wildest thing. But anyways, let's not focus on that. We've got we've got the platform open, so let's focus on using on the phone. I think that's going to be better for us in this case. We'll place our trade in the phone, and then we'll show it up on the chart. So we know this was already swept, so we can remove this right here. I don't want to be too crowded. This early seller's trap we had marked, we knew this zone right here wasn't going to hold. Simply because this was a high that led simply to this low to mitigate. It didn't create no significant low. So when price came up, reacted from it, we knew that it was simply going to sweep liquidity, which in this case was done here. So while price is approaching our zone, let's quickly look and see what happened during Asia. During Asia, we've had this consolidation, price wick below. Asia low was taken all the way during, well, I want to say London. Yeah, during London session. Let me pull up my sessions chart. So yes, Asia low was taken during London session. Like as you can see, Dulan had this inducement breakout, changed character, broke structure to the upside right here. Kind of came up, hasn't returned back to the zone where change of the character and break structure happened. So we could say potentially, let me go to 15-minute mark our structure real quick. So we know that this was the two recent structures that we had from this high. Price came to this overall low. And this overall low created this overall high that is still within this trading range here. We have not broken this internal trading range that we're trading in between, which is this low, this overall high, and this overall low here. This is our internal trading range of the 1 hour, etc. So we're still within this high right here, which it could kind of look like it's a consolidative area because price came from this high to this low in between, bounce right back up here. So we could easily say this whole range is a consolidation range because price actually just moving left and right. But what we'll do is we will come down to the very low time frame and see if there is anything for us, maybe like even a short price action, a small price action could possibly give us something, but we'll see. So we have that for the 15-minute. Let's go to the 5 and see if we have any structure that we can mark coming out of the previous day. So we've had, let's say, this 5-minute here, this 5-minute low. Let's do this high. Let's do this low. Let's do this high. Let's do this low. Let's do this high. Let's do this here low, which led to this here high, which led to this low. Then we had the inducement of that 5-minute high. So we can say this 5-minute low here led to this 5-minute high, led to this 5-minute low. No more until we reach this zone here. So we can say this was the inducement high of the 5-minute. So we can say right here was the inducement that led to the mitigation of this wick of the impulse candle. So this right here was a minor inducement that caused the mitigation of this here skinny wick that triggered this bullish push to the upside impulse candle. So do you see this impulse candle here broke these internal structures? If we go to the 3-minute or the 1-minute, perhaps we can find our change of character, which was, let me lock this. We have to kind of be swift because the price, market is moving towards our zone if we're going to be interested in it. So here's what we see. we can clearly see this was the trader from the breaker structure to the downside, low. Price created this internal 1 minute high, low, and then pushed up, gave us a change of character here. This was the initial change of character. Now, this change of character is a 1 minute change of character. Each time frame have their own version of change of character. So because we're trading on the lower time frame and when it comes to entries, we'll say this was our change of character. This sweep would have been our break of structure, but instead price came down to retest that impulse candle of the 5 minute. So this is why we're getting this reaction up, or the 3 minute as well. You see this 3 minute candle before the impulse candle that broke the internal structures all over here. So it also swept this here trend line. As you know, whenever you are looking at a, a zone where there's a lot of wicks like this, and then you look to the right, the candle that comes into it is a full body, wick versus body. This one confirms that price wants to go up versus this one confirming price wants to go down, even though there was this inducement and not a break of a body. Now, in the event you see a break of a body, you know price wants to go up. That's confirmation. You retake the entry when price returns back to the zone of interest. But in the event where price changes character and your 5 minute BOS zone right here, instead of closing a body, price comes and closes in this form as a wick. If the candle to the left was a wick like this, and you identify the one that closed in that range, this bullish candle is a full body volume like this, you can still take the entry from the point of interest that you have, or the order block, or the entry zone. You can still take it because price is confirming in this in candlestick anatomy that this is a bullish price action coming, which is what, when we turn here, this is what you got. 1, 2, 3, straight push out. So now what we want to see in this zone is, was there any buildups and inducements that happen in this zone to signify? Okay, so we can kind of see, I can say that there was this level of buildup here, price buildup all in this range, and then gave us the inducement here. So this inducement here led to this push, caused this break of structure to the inside of this move here, giving us this bullish BOS. Okay, so we're building up the thesis here. So we know we go back to the 5 minutes quickly. We know we've had this, we have this zone here that has not been mitigated to the downside. It was a low that led to a high that caused breaks of structures. Price has mitigated the imbalance, but did not come to this order block last week from the buys that we caught. These two buys, we caught this buy up here to the top of this trend line, and also this buy up here to the supply zone where the sales would have began from. So now, what has price done? What are we looking at here? If we look at the price range from here to the high that the market reached, we can see within this area lies the premium, the discount, I apologize. So the discount is within this range. Price didn't reach above this high. Instead, it came to this here order block, this 5 minute order block. And what did it do? It induced the high of it slightly, as you can see. Price failed this zone. Price failed this zone. Okay. So what does that mean? Could this be, as I said earlier, could this be our medium inducement? Actually, it cannot. Why? Because look at the time that it happened at 8:35. So at 8:35 would not be a significant time frame to qualify this as a medium inducement. So immediately, we can rule out this being a medium inducement. It's not within our key time window. Excuse me for a second. A little stuffy. I was supposed to fly down to Miami today, but I ended up changing my flights till tomorrow. So here's what we're looking at. a question to ask ourselves, are we in a continuation or reversal? Well, one thing for certain is we can say we're in a continuation because we haven't had a reversal. If we had a previous day, a major inducement that happened last week at 12 or roughly around 11:15-ish, and price has not dumped from there yet. That's why I say this is a consolidation zone because price, if it's ready to go based off of this major inducement, it's simply building liquidity to take on its way. And if this has expired, this major inducement expired, and prices, the movement was simply for this price action here, this 44 pip move down to the downside that price did last week, then we're ready to go back, continue bullish because that's been the overall market direction. But for now, let's take a look at close to price action. What are we getting? Because maybe the market might give us something right in front of us that can clarify the trade. So let's go to the 9 o'clock. First, let's put our kill zone. Okay. We're going to put our kill zone, giving price a 15-minute grace. And then we're going to find our 9 o'clock entry, our execution window. And let's also see what traps were created this morning during New York. Was this basically what type of trap was it? That's what we want to see. What type of trap, what direction was it showing? What was it proposing? Okay, so what we see is we simply had this bearish push, unofficial movement to the downside, price swept the liquidity, retrace, mitigate, expand, just to do this inducement, and now it's pushing down. So it wasn't nothing significant. It was simply a slight buildup. And now we have this form of unintentional movement here at 8:45. Price swept the liquidity and it's pushing down. Now we can take this execution window out. We can see at 9 o'clock, we did not get any mitigation on the dot. So the only thing we can do now is follow the inducements to see who is pushing the market. So far, we've known that we've had this buyer inducement from this buildup that pushed up the market and came up here. We can say we had another level of buildup right here. That price did. Price gave us this level of a trend line buildup. And this buildup here lets you an inducement of these lows. Yeah, these inducements here, pushing the market up again, causing another break of structure. Now, this is all within the channel. So I'm still wary of it. Then price gave us this consolidation zone. Took the lows, and induced the lows right here. This inducement here, push price up, taking the highs, and it continued. And from there, we can say we have these levels of trend line. So right here, so far, price has done what? It has induced these equal lows. We had these relatively equal lows here. These equal lows, price came and has induced them. And we're seeing if we're going to get a reaction up or to the downside. So far, let's see if we have any 5-minute structure here. Not necessarily. We had one strong bearish candle, like consolidation pushed up, and then finally did this inducement push down. So we can't necessarily say we did. We just have to let price show its hands. Right now, this zone is a possible entry. It's a possible entry. On the 5-minute, we don't necessarily have an impulse candle. We just have this here. Let's see on the 15. Yeah, on the 15-minute, we have this impulse candle that broke structure. There's the candle before it. So perhaps price can come in here and give us an entry. We can see this inducement. Perhaps price can take out this wick, induce this wick here into the zone. Then that will give us a nice possible entry position here. So that's what I would want to see for entering the zone. I would want to see price, sweep these lows, even though we did have a build up inducement here that pushed up broke structure. Because price has already mitigated this here order block. Let me go to the 3 minutes to see if there's any unmitigated, or 1 minute if it's more clear. Yeah, so on the 3 minute, we can see that this order block was mitigated, right? So we would want to see that price can come back, and I would want to see that price can come back and take this zone out, either to tap into this here imbalance, because now that this imbalance is underneath this zone, I would want to see that this zone not hold. Perhaps price could take this zone out and then push up. But right now, if price does come back up here, we can ask ourselves, could this be a reaction point? So what did we get here? We got a break of a body. So we can say this is another buyer inducement. Where can this buyer inducement lead? Let's see. Go back to the 5 minute. Did we get a 2-leg protocol? Let's see. We had price reach the high, 1 leg, 2 leg. Yes, we did actually. We got a 2-leg protocol. So we can say this right here could be a point of interest for the market. Okay, let's see the size of this zone. 2 pip to the high, 4 pip stop loss. Okay, we could potentially see a sell down from here. Covering this high. We cover that high for the safety. And we could say this can be our smart money trap. And we target this zone here. Simply because we've had 1 leg, 2 leg, and that could potentially give us a move down. Or this could simply be price action high, low, and then price creates the new high up here. So let's see what we get from this price action. Being that on the 5 minute, price simply induced these lows. It didn't close a body. On the 3 minute, it closed the body. Let's see on the 4 minute. Close the body on the 4 minute. Okay. Go to the 15. I want to properly read this price action. They had this strong wick. We came, took the lows of it. Did we tap into anything significant? Okay, there's this 1 hour candle here. Price wick underneath these lows. Strong bearish, close the body underneath this low. Okay, so perhaps we could take a sell from up here, guys. Based on the candlestick, it looks like we could possibly take a sell from there. There are equal highs up here that I think price could be using to keep possible people from entering. Let's see on the 3 minute, what does the zone look like? Yeah, we have this impulse candle that broke, that led to these breaks, and then we had the candle before it. So perhaps price can mitigate deep into here or react. If we're reacting from here, we're not taking that as too big of a zone, but we do have our 5-minute order block right here that we could potentially see the sell-off from. And we would cover these highs. So let's see if we can take a sell down from here. And if yeah, if it's incorrect, then it's incorrect, guys. That's all we can do in these positions. We position ourselves for what we see is possible, and we take the trade. So let's go with a pending order, stop loss. We look for a sell. Okay. One leg, two leg, came down, induced, did mitigate, price return into our zone. It looks possible for that move. 1.7554. 0.7. Actually, let me go to the 5-minute on this. Stop loss is 1.7598. Okay. Okay. And then we're going to position for 15 months. Let's put the sell limit. Now, if price reacts from this here imbalance, then that's the zone that we're not interested in. So, okay. And that would be our possible sell entry. My question is, did we get this as a 5? This is a very intricate trade. The reason so is because of the location that price is in. Though we are within this consolidation range, price can easily finish up the high side of this price action. Because Asia low was taken, Asia high was taken, London came. Price could simply be retracing to target the London. I mean, it could react from this zone and target the lows of London, which is down here, because we still have the rest of this trend line that's not taken and this trend line here. But that too can just be a fake out for us to bring us into a negative trade. So that's the only that's my only thing with this position. But you know what? We're going to take the trade and we're gonna just let price do the rest. It's approaching our zone. It looks like we are where we mitigated. It looks like we got mitigated into it. So this broker here is a bit different. because of the spreads and things like that. I took the trade from the imbalance a little lower, still within the stop loss range. I just had to make up for it in a different way. So I'm going to see if I can also look for a position with my live account. But for this one, for this live account, what I'm going to do instead, I'm going to wait for a second entry, a confirmation entry, to then take the trade. Uh, that way, if this is a confirmed trade, then price will be well within within our target. But we'll see. Like I said, we see that buyers are in control, buyer inducement, buyer inducement, buyer inducement. I don't want to simply come in and take a sell where buyers are showing control, especially after we've taken out this high. You see the buyers taking out highs. This is the next one that needs to be taken out. Every time the sellers take control, they're not able to come down, take any of the buyer inducements. So it might not be a good position to take sell. Let's see. What's another thing we see here? So I might get out of that position. Well, not get out, but I might not take the second position. Let's verify. So we've had this inducement in a form of a build up. Induce price gave us another build up here. Induce this low. So yeah, these series of inducements from the buyer side is showing strong control. Now the sellers were able to take this level from the buyers, but it didn't come down to this level either. So let's see if this mitigation can push the price down to cause what is our confluence for this trade? Okay, well, it's not as strong as prior confluences, and I'm looking at how strong price is coming at this zone also. That's something to keep in mind. Let me look at the 1 hour. What was our 1 hour for today? Okay, so on the 1 hour, we've had this big bullish candle at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. So that's a strong indication that price wants to go up. We've had a lot of strong bullish candles. So quite honestly, although we had this strong rejection down, I believe that this was just price trying to sweep liquidity. And this might be the confirmation of price wanting to still shoot high. With a 22-minute, yeah, I don't think price wants to respect that zone. So that second entry I was thinking about, I'm probably not going to position it. I think price wants to take this previous day high, even if it was to be for we were to go sells, it would want to take this previous day high. I'm not seeing anymore that this two-leg protocol would be the move that sends the market bearish, simply because, yes, we had it on the 1 minute, as you can see here. Price is very, very strong, pushing through the zone. It's simply because of these series of buildups of buyer inducements pushing to the zone. We can see that clear buyers are in control. So like we said, looking for continuation, being that price did not continue bearish even from yesterday's session. I mean, today's session, it was bullish, bullish, bullish. The continuation is of the bullish push. So if we're looking for any positions in, it would be pro-trend buy. So at least wait for price to come into a zone where we can buy from. Because right now it's a bullish market. Buyer inducement, buyer inducement, buyer inducement, all leading the way, taking out seller inducement. This is the first seller inducement that took out one internal buyer inducement, but not a significant one that caused a breakup structure. So we would want to see if price can even come to this range to do some sort of either retest or inducement. But from right here, price can come out and take this high before continuing, or even take this high with it and then do all the things it needs to do. So I'm not too firm on this position yet. I do believe that price can and will take it, especially because we're in a consolidation. But yeah, in these situations, you just let price play out. You had reasons for the possible entry that the two-leg protocol could potentially send price down to come to a more discount range because we are in a premium, so we wouldn't want to sell from up here. I mean, buy from up here. In these areas, perhaps, but price simply did an inducement of equal lows. That can be enough for price to say, I have enough liquidity from this push up to then break to the high side. That can be possible. So instead, we are just going to allow the market to play out. If we're wrong, we'll find out very quickly. Price will induce us out. If we're correct, price will also let us know because it will start to go bearish, giving us possible price action that will let us know so. So for now, I can see that we have this little trend line. This doesn't mean that price has to come down and take this now. It is a small, minute trend line after taking the equal lows. So let's let price do its thing. Now, if price does make a bearish move, confirming price action to the downside, like um, another form of two leg of some sort or a change of character, then we can take that second position we spoke of. But for now, we're not out the Rex yet. Mm. And we did get a break to the downside of this channel. So this me looking at reasons why price should continue with the bullish direction is because we've broken out of the channel to the downside, did an inducement. This should be the cause of the push up because that's usually how the channel works. It's almost like a consolidation range. If price breaks to the downside, it's going to break to the upside. So in the channel, based on which side price breaks out of first, if it breaks to the downside, it's ready to push up to the upside. So in this case, we did have that. So this should lead us to the upside. So then that aids our analysis for why this zone should fail. Should fail. Now, the reason why we were anticipating for it to hold is simply because of the two-leg protocol. But now we ask ourselves, was this a valid two-leg protocol based on where it happened? All we've done was made an inducement, which was not a valid medium inducement. It was an inducement during at 8 a.m. So it wasn't a key time window inducement of a structural zone. So that doesn't signify that this is an inducement that's creating bearish pressure. It did a one leg, came up two leg, shot down to the downside, and did an inducement of a low. Did it mitigate as order block? Yes, actually, we could say this was an order block. So that explains why this zone would fail here. If we say that this here is an order block that was not mitigated underneath this equal low, okay, it was swept. So that will explain why this zone here would fail. This inducement of the equal lows was the catalyst to push price up. So we had this inducement, push out, retrace, mitigate, expand, price came back again, induce the lows once more, and then gave us this push out. So strong bullish momentum we're seeing early up in the opening of the session. So we're still looking for a possible entry for buys. Price hasn't given us any clear buy entries. The only thing is we're seeing that this zone is going to fail within this range, and we have not been given an opportunity to enter for a buy just yet. The price action here was quite swift, so it didn't have much opportunities. We had this low, lit to this high, came, price did not, it didn't induce the low of it. Let's see. No, it did not. It respected that low, as you can see, and then pushed up, broke structure, came back, give a build up, induced once again here, induced once again to this level. We've had this inducement, push out. So that confirms this price action. This is yeah, this is a zone that I fell. Let's see. And I don't believe we had any news today either. So I think if we did, it was during yeah, no news for USD today. So it's pretty much a clear day. Tomorrow, I'll be traveling, but tomorrow's a very news heavy day, as you can see. So tomorrow's not the best day for trading. We'll most likely be annotating the market. So chances are we're not going to look for trades by the time the news ends at 9:45, close to 10-ish. We're not going to try to force trades depending on how the market looks. Thursday as well, it's a bad day for trading. You can see Euro USD and USD all within the opening of the market. It's going to be a lot of news. Friday is going to be the only opportunity where we can somewhat get some trades. So it's basically Monday and Wednesday, I believe, are the only opportunity days, as you can see here, this Wednesday coming up. So those will be the days we'll most likely do some recordings. All right, so this zone is about to fail. Price hasn't given us a entry for the buys yet. Perhaps we could get something. Let's get closer to price action. Let me get this out the way. Um, high, low, high, break. Perhaps price can come back and retest this zone. So yeah, we can see that price is about to hit the high of these wicks. Take out this these inducement highs. Take this liquidity before continuing to the swing high of this trading range. So what is price doing right now? It's inviting sellers into the market. Sellers who are aiming to push price down. They believe that this high should be safe, that this high also should be safe because price hasn't taken them in the opening of previous day session of the London or Asia. But for now, based on how price is moving with these buyer inducements, I don't believe these highs are safe. We're too close to this liquidity to not take it, including the trading range up here. So even if price is to shoot down, I do see at least one wick to take this should happen. But let's see. Let's see. We've taken this liquidity here, but I believe this is just price enticing sellers, enticing sellers. Yeah, taking their liquidity. And this should be the push to take them out. There we go. Yeah, we're too close to the liquidity to not take it. So we'll see. The sellers are trying to fight from this range, but I don't believe it's going to hold. Hmm. So this might be one of those days, one of those Mondays where we just allow price to work its way outside of this trading range, guys. Like I've told you before, on these big trading range, consolidation range, I much rather just watch the market, let price pick a side first, and then I'll decide on a direction. Being that this trading range is quite large, and we're already close to the top of it, perhaps we can get the inducement of the high to allow us to target maybe not all the way to the bottom, but lower levels. But yeah, we'll see if price can take out the top today. And then this week, with all the news coming, I'm sure one of the we'll either get continuations to the previous day high or we'll be coming down to take the low with all the news that's scheduled this week. Yeah, it's very difficult for the sellers to push this down right now. They're fighting, but as you can see, the buyers are in complete control here from these buyer inducements. Yeah. We haven't got no strong sell candle to confirm that this move is valid on the sell direction. No momentum candles from the sellers yet. We can put this out the way for now. We know that this zone failed. So let's see what price action is doing. So we do have this internal low led to this high, broke this internal structure. Perhaps price can just bounce. If it does not push above, maybe it can use this zone here, excuse me, to complete this move to the upside. This zone could be the catalyst where price bounce off and finish this move up here. So let's see. If it's not able, yeah, so it should be able to. If I was saying if it's not able to push, but right now it's showing that it is. It's, yeah, there you go. Price has just reached that zone. Okay. So that would be the stop loss of that trade right there. Okay. So let me details. What's today? Today's the 15th. So could this be where price begin the bearish move? Let's see. Because this here will be once this created, today was Monday. So this is the same day structure. So this would not be a medium inducement. It would have to be previous day, previous day. As you can see, price is basically equal high right here. It's literally an equal high. Triple top, as they call it in retail. Triple top in this range. But I'm still bullish for now. Seeing all this price action, buyers in control. Since these lows, we had this inducement here, buy, came back, induced buy, induced buyers, inducement buyers. So yeah, buyers should continue to push the market up to these range. Took out this zone here, the low and the high was taken, price induced the lows of it. Yeah, and this was the entry probability here. But there was no possible entry for us. Even when price came down to this range, there was no entry for us here. On a 5-minute order 15, there's this imbalance. We could say perhaps we could have taken it from this imbalance. Is this within 50% range? Let's see. No, it's not even within 50%. This imbalance here is what price reacted from. Now this could begin the sell of the trend, the sell we were looking for to the downside. This could begin that sell. But price came, took this equal lows, induced into this imbalance, and then pushed up again, reached this high. This is going to fail, probably inviting early sellers once again. Might react from this zone here, did this inducement, and then push above. So let's see what we can get. I just don't like that we didn't react from a 50% range. So this wouldn't have been an entry that I was going to be interested in for the buy. It was outside of our discount. So some entries, it's just not for us. We're expecting price to reach at least above these range or even to this previous day high to finally take this previous day high that's been sitting for a few days. We can expect price to reach at least to that range. at least to that range. Okay, so far we can say, what did we do today? Let's go to details. Refresh. Let's see how I can show you guys the levels we're at with the account as we go. So we can take on this journey together on a challenge. So we've just taken a trade earlier. So that should take something off of the account. I'm just not sure. I can't really see the accurate numbers. Oh, okay. This is the platform match trader. There we go. Now I found a real platform. Thank goodness. Okay, boom. Euro USD, close positions. There we go. So here is our, see if I can make it a small tab. No, it looks terrible. There we go. Here comes that bullish push that I spoke of. Price would come, but did not tap this demand. Instead, it just did this inducement and pushed away. So that's why it's important sometimes we just allow the market to build its liquidity and we stay out of the way. So I've purchased this demo. It's not a demo, but it's actually a prop account. I purchased this prop for us to take this challenge on um during this recording phases. So as you can see, we've taken our first trade today. Was the stop loss of 960. That's fine. This was the entry we were anticipating here based off this two leg. It wasn't the best confluences. We didn't come from a high time frame. So this is something that we can factor into our journal. We didn't come from a high time frame. We had confluences of buyer control. So it wasn't a trade that was in our favor. We could have passed up on, but being that we took the trade, we have to accept the outcome, and it is a risk. So we're not a win rate trader. We are a risk to rewards trader. So this right here just was one of our entry. We could take one trade that shows itself, whether it's this week, that will make all this back, a 1 to 3, a 1 to 5. So we're not worried. So right now, the account balance is at about okay, it's not showing, but I'll get the account balance and it will continue to journal this process. So this brings a level of excitement into the process. It brings a level of excitement into the journey. It allows us to see what it is that we can do in the market by being disciplined, by being sharp with our trade. And I'm not gonna lie, this was not the first act of discipline by taking this trade. This did not exude discipline because though we are in this big consolidation range, we wanted to wait for price to take a side. As you can see, I leaned more on the opportunity to sell this position down. I can't say that I had all my confluences. I can't say I had a high time frame mitigation. I didn't come from no high time frame. If anything, would have been this demand to buy up. We did initiate that we were looking for a continuation of buys. So this would have been simply an opportunity to try to counter the sell down to this buy opportunity, which we've made it clear that we wanted to stick to pro trend. So it's okay for us to be, I wouldn't say harsh, but for us to be honest with ourselves and knowing where we went wrong, because sometimes it's not always technical. Sometimes it's just you're not being specific on your rules. that are there to protect you from making those types of mistakes. So without further ado, let's go ahead and remove this consolidation range. And let's let the market continue and see if we get some sort of opportunity between now and 10:30, if price is going to show us some sort of possible entries. So what do we have here? We have these equal highs closed, strong, bullish candle, impulse candle. Could we find a entry from candle before, which in this case would be this here candle. Impulse candle, candle before the impulse. We go to the 3-minute. We can see that's this order block, 1 minute. We can also see this position. So we ask ourselves, could the market possibly react, retest here, and continue up to finish the move? Let's go to the 1 hour. Strong bullish body close. So we know that the bulls are still in control. And then we're gonna do this bullish POS. And let's see, 15 minutes. Okay. So if price comes back, we can potentially see a continuation from here. I'll tap from this impulse candle and continue up to this previous day high where we could target the previous day high for a continuation trade. Covering these lows, target previous day. That would be our final possible entry for this market if price comes back to it. But if price just continues to gun straight to the previous day high, then that's it. We'll probably see a possible sell opportunity if it could propose itself from this high time frame. Otherwise, we would look to continue the bullish from here. Overall, I grade my approach to this session. I'll grade that more of like a B minus, a C, simply because some routines were off. I wanted to be traveling today, so I kind of threw off some of my routines. I didn't get to train in the morning like I normally do. Few things. So you don't account that for the stop loss. I account that to my preparation. That's why I say overall, I grade my preparation and my approach to this session that amount. Okay, so let's see. We'll place our position and see if the market comes down. If it does, then we'll take the entry. If it doesn't, then we're done for today, most likely. Okay, so we can enter from 1.7606 if price comes to that range. Put our stop loss at 786. And we will risk same amount. We don't change too much from our risk. We try to maintain the same risk um, for the sake of keeping the account the same. We have our daily max drawdown at 2K, well, 3K. So we can take these possible two positions. If price takes us out, we will be done for today. Um, this is what just happened. Um, yeah. Okay, so we've placed our limit. Let's see if price comes into our zone. Price needs more momentum. We could potentially get this retracement to come retest this zone and potentially push us through. Otherwise, the bullish pressure continues up. Let's see. There's a lot of messaging going on in the chat. Let's see what's going on. Now, we didn't check today what GU was doing. Let's see, did GU give any probable possible opportunity? Okay, so with GU, what did we get? At the morning, London, low, high, low, high, low. Okay, so GU structure was a bit off. Broke structure to the upside here. So this was a bullish US for GU. Okay. Let's mute this channel for the next hour. So GU broke structure here, retrace, induce, pushed out. So perhaps GU can do the same as EU because it's simply induced this Asia high. This inducement of this Asia high for GU, what could that tell us? This is Asia high from Thursday on a 15-minute inducement. Where is EU currently at? What zone is this that it's taking? Let me take a look. Is EU doing a medium inducement of some sort. With EU. Okay, so EU is taking this here high. What is this high on a 15-minute? We have to be very precise because if we miss something, we could miss a medium inducement that causes us to take a stop loss. So this high right here is what EU's just took. Am I right? Or is it this one here? Let's to the right. Okay, it's this one here, the green one. So is this significant? Because on GU, we can see that it looks as if it's a medium inducement of that Asia. So on a 15-minute, it was a high. It was this high. I would say led to this low. Did it break anything significant? Maybe, I guess we could say this low. And then price came back up, retest, and then respected to break it down again. So this could be a medium inducement for EU. It's possible. We can't rule that out, actually. Cannot rule that out. Now, it's not the highest point within this range. So what we want to see now, did it wick above it? Or was it simply an equal high? Let's see, this is where we got to scale in. It's very important. Yeah, so it looks like we've just got equal highs created from my observation. Doesn't look like price closed the body. It looks like we've just created equal highs in this area. So if this is going to be equal highs, then I don't believe this is a medium. Oh, wait. Oh, yes. I don't believe this is a medium inducement. This is our previous day high from that range. So I believe we still should be able to get the previous day high for today. We should still be able to get the previous day high for today. So let's see if this can give us the retracement we were looking for to tap into this here impulse candle and push price up to finish that move. Being that we've just had this break of structure here. Let's go to the 15-minute. This right here became our bullish BOS. Low, high, and this became our next low. 1, 2, 3. Relatively 3 candles, not necessarily the best way that we want to see it. But in this case here, this previous candle here was higher than these bullish, was induced here, close to the downside, strong bearish to the downside, another bearish to the downside that mitigated and followed by this push up. So we can say this was a qualified low because it led to a break of structure as well. So what does that mean for us? For now, let's remove these levels. Price has gone up 25 pips from this range. from this 9 a.m. We've ran up 25 pips. The remainder would be from here, another 19, 18 pips. Is that possible? Yes, it can be possible. Let's see. We want to see a little bit of a buildup within this range, followed by an inducement that can lead to that trade. We're at a 5.9 pip stop loss. We're covering this low included in case we get an inducement of this low into the zone. We are still positioning for the trade. Could price react from this 1 minute impulse candle? That too is possible, being that we have this imbalance here. This imbalance could be a zone price reacts from. As you can see right now, we have this 3 tap right here of a buildup. So price can do an inducement within here and the imbalance. So this would put us at this range. If we were to take this entire zone, we'll be way above our target, but then that would garner us to be in the trade. So we would have to put our stop loss within these range and cover this low to be at a 5 pip. This could allow us to take the trade with the imbalance, knowing that price can react from any of these zones. But yeah, so if price leaves from here, where it didn't take us for the trade. So price is probably going to leave from here. Does it seem like it's trying to come back to that zone where that imbalance lies? Yeah, so price is gone from there. This push up right here confirmed that it's not trying to come back. It didn't give us an inducement. It just simply gave us equal lows, 3 tap, 1 tap, 2 tap, 3 taps. and then pushed up. So I don't see where we can get this retracement again. Perhaps it's a small little trend line. Um, but I don't know. Maybe it's inviting early. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. Oh, that's a strong drop. I was just about to say maybe it's inviting early sellers, but that's a strong drop. Wow. Very strong drop. Price just did, what was it, 70.41? A very, very, very strong drop that price did there to invite early buyers into the trade, took everyone out, mitigated the zone that we said we was going to cover just in case price decided to come uh, lower, and it did. It came to that zone, but that was a very strong, unexpected push to the downside. So our initial entry, which was from this impulse candle here that I mentioned from the 5-minute, this 5-minute impulse, and we covered to the bottom of this zone here to see if the market would respect, which price did respect it. It induced it and it's wicked to the upside. Now let's see if let's see how the trade plays out. Right now we're currently in that trade. Let's see if I can get it on the chart, on the screen, I mean. We're currently in that trade. We're roughly $252 in profit, as you can see here. So that trade is running. So let's see if we can hit our TP right above here at the previous day high. But yeah, that was a very, very strong push. But as you can see, this is where we targeted the entry. We knew that price would come back if it wants to continue to reach this previous day high and give us a strong mitigation right here. So, and that's exactly what we got. A strong mitigation right into this zone with a 5.9 pip stop loss. So we can say, take a screenshot, we are in this trades here, in these trades and these buys. And yeah, let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. And these potential EU buys to previous day high. Okay, so price is pushing strongly at our at our zone right now. So right now we're currently almost floating almost 1,000. As you can see here, 598. So we're roughly floating 1 grand. So we just want to see where price is going to TP. Potentially we may have to take, it is a 1 to 3 trade, so a full volume would just be at the previous day high, but price may want to come deeper into the zone. So we'll see where we take this trade towards, if that's where price wants to go. But for now, we let price continue to work its way up. Let's go to this member analysis here and upload these trades to that community. And these EU buys towards previous day high. Okay, so we can take out this seller inducement since it's been taken, has been swept. And let's see if we can. So let's see what could be happening here. So it came up and induced this high. Could this lead to more bearish price action is the question. These equal highs are not taken. And if we get stopped, that will be the end of our session for today. So two stop losses, we're done. That's how we trade. We want to see if we are correct on this price induce this low, as we said, grab liquidity to the downside, give us this inducement. This minor inducement caused this buyer, triggered this buyer push. Yeah, that was so strange. The way that price dropped into that zone was very aggressive. It was unexpected, very aggressive. So we know this was taken. Imbalance failed. Okay. So price did this mitigation simply to come, are you saying to come react from this zone here? Interesting. Let's see. This high led to this low that induced this low and mitigated this demand that pushed up here, took this high. So what could we be seeing right now? We're back towards our entry. So could price now possibly be returning all the way back down to the zones here to sweep this little trend line to mitigate his here demand? Now, if that's the case, I don't see price coming here to pushing all the way back up again. So that wouldn't be an opportunity we look for. So we have one leg, two leg. Perhaps this could be the situation here. One leg to the downside, pushes up, two leg, breaking this low, inducing this low, mitigating this zone to simply come back up, mitigate this high for the sell. That could be possible because we've just broken structure to the high side and we need a retracement. So it could be the retracement that is happening right here. So let's see it from a 15-minute time frame. This is a strong rejection from this range. So these are very intricate price action. Let's see. This was very, 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 very strange price action that we got in this session. It's no news, nothing. It's just strong price movement. We broke this high, broke this high. So yes, I agree, price does need to retrace. So this could potentially be a retracement towards these levels. um, around within this range. Is there any order block within this range? Not necessarily, just some imbalance, maybe on a 3 minute. No, just regular candles. There is one here. So could price be trying to come to this here range is the question. This here range. This is possible. Hmm. This is like I said, this was a very, very strange price action. Like even me, it caught me off guard. Yeah, I saw those little internal trend lines. I'm like, okay, maybe price will come back and sweep it, but based on how the price action was moving all day, I didn't see that to happen with this aggressive drop of a candle. And immediately this follow through reaction. It was like, what? Now the good thing is we positioned ourselves perfectly. We anticipated where even if price was to sweep certain levels, where we can say we'll be safe at least for that move or that mitigation, which would have been here. But goodness gracious, that was like, what? And then now we're getting this push to the downside, which I believe might have just been an invitation for for early sellers who are thinking now sellers were in control. But I do believe perhaps buyers are still in control because of this inducement. It led up here. It took the highs of this zone. Then we came back, didn't take the low. So perhaps price could still come back up and take the equal high and turn this into a smart money trap. But we'll see. Yeah, like right now, the price action that we've just witnessed was I don't know. I don't know. Hey, you guys got to see it yourself. I can't make this up. I can't make this up. I'm just happy that we started this challenge. The first day we started the challenge, we have it crazy, mad price action. This is insane. This is insane. Oh my goodness. The first day. Let's look at GU for a second. Because remember, GU looked like it had a medium inducement, which was here, but it looks like GU could potentially come up and close it out. So that way it wouldn't be classified as a medium inducement. Because GU did come off of this high time frame zone, pushed up here, induced this high. So yeah, for GU, it could come and close out this this so-called medium inducement and just make it a regular inducement, a minor inducement. So let's keep that in mind. We're not out the trenches with EU though. As you can see, price is still hovering within our range. It has already ran up 20 something pip this morning. So I don't know if it's maxed out. I wouldn't say it's maxed out, but from this run since this morning at 9, as you see here, it's 24 pips. And then it just gave us that's usually the average, like 24. And it's a Monday, so Mondays are very manipulative. And then this right here was like a little 12, 13, 12 pip down. So we don't know if price can push up higher or not. Thank you. But yeah, that was some wicked price action. I don't know what that was about. That was crazy. Oh my goodness. At this point, what time is it? 10:35. So we still got another um what is it, 25 minutes left on our recording. I like to close it out at 11 so that way it's not too long of a recording. So hopefully price can continue the move or give us some sort of closure or TP within the time frame. So that way I can you guys can see where we end up. If not, then I will obviously put it in our description or on the next video, which would be Wednesday probably, because tomorrow is going to be a liquidity session. I am traveling, so depending on if I trade on the flight or if I'm on flight during the session or how it goes, I'll see if I record. But tomorrow will probably be a liquidity session, so we'll see. See, let's see. EU on a 5 minute. This is on a 1 minute, so it looks a lot of choppy action. On a 5 minute, um, yeah, this is what we see on a 5. I mean, I'm sorry, on a 15, similar to GU, the 15-minute time frame. When you look at it on the 5 or the 1 minute, it looks like a lot of price action. I like to watch on the higher time frame, get more clarity. But yeah, that's it for today so far. No other trades. We're not taking no other trades, obviously. So that's clearly out the picture. So that's not something we're even looking for. The only thing now is to see if we can hit the TP on this one or if we're just gonna be stopped out based on how price is moving. It's not moving aggressive right now. This looks like it wants to come to lower levels despite this inducement low. I'm trying to keep so I can see the candles. Despite this inducement low, it looks like the seller still wants to push it to lower levels, which is valid because was this below 50%? Yeah, this was well within 50% range of that dip. So price can go up for me if it wants to. But when we're talking about the discount range of the trading range, it will be from this high, this 15-minute high that we reached, and this low that caused it. So from this low to this high, this is the fib tool that we're using from this trading range. And from this low to this high, as you can see, price did not come to the 50%. It came right above it. So that's why I say if this is the retracement that's beginning, either we come to these levels or price reacts from that level, which I don't believe it could be this one simply because this one below did not reach 50%. So if price comes and fell this low, it will be to even pass this one to come lower into these levels, because we could then say this right here is a level of build up from here. This can become a level of a build up that price can later on induce. So this right here could be the inducement into this here premium range. Okay, so these are just levels that I'm marking that I know that I see price could potentially come to. So let's clear these up so we don't have so much marking and follow through. So yeah, GU is still respecting this zone. I want to see what GU did on the lower time frame, like the 1 minute or so, because the way GU is moving, I don't know if it's going to take that one. So it came down, it induced here, pushed up, broke above, came down, retest, pushed up, broke above. So what could GU be coming down to? Could GU simply one leg, two leg, all the way through? It didn't come retest a higher leg. So on a higher time frame, like 5 minute, GU does not look, GU doesn't look bullish. This medium inducement right here on GU, it's it doesn't look bullish, guys. GU does not look bullish. I don't know if you've seen what I'm seeing is we've had this Thursday high, which was an Asia high that led to this low that caused the mitigation and broke structure here. Then price came back and did an inducement of that high right here as a medium inducement. That doesn't look like a bullish market. Yeah, it looks like we're about to get stopped out actually. So for EU, this equal high, so we can say this was literally a two-leg protocol. This was literally a two-leg protocol that price did. One leg came back, two-leg, bounced off of this demand simply to come back up, retest this zone, and push down. So that was a two-leg. Price, I wouldn't say tricked us, but price turned around on us in this position and put us in a pickle. So this could be our potential two stop loss for the day. We will basically be about, I want to say, because most of the trades was about 860, 880. So about 16, we would be 16, 1700 down on the account, which is fine. One trade, 1 to 3, we make all of that back. But it's not over until price hits stop loss, take profit, or break even. And in this case, we have not hit neither one of them. So we let the market run its course. Let's see. Let's see, because what just happened here was an inducement once again, but we don't know if this inducement is strong enough to push the market back up. Price basically came back and induced these lows here. Which I don't think is enough because there was a body to the downside of it. And remember what I told you guys about wick to body? There's a lot of body in comparison to this wick. It's a lot more body. And from this wick, it was more wicks, but then these bodies. So I believe price could simply just come up, do a retest somewhere within these levels. Perhaps even the impulse candle here. Retest above and push down, but we'll see. We will see. One thing about it is we're not just gonna close the trade or run out because price is coming back to our zone. We're not gonna fear him. Oh my God, we're gonna hit stop loss. Let's close it early. No. We accepted the risk and put on the trade. If our stop loss gets hit, our stop loss gets hit. If I take profit gets hit, I take profits gets hit. And if we take 1 to 3 and we go to break even and comes back hit break even, same thing. One thing we're not gonna do is FOMO out. I've seen trades where I've closed early. Price went back and hit my take profit because I closed early out of FOMO, fear of price taking me out or fear of losing. And I've seen trades where I held a position and price came and still hit my stop loss. So when you close early, you still lose. When price hits your stop loss, you still lose. So what's the point of even doing it? Regardless, it's still a loss that you take. Now, when you close early and then price hits your take profit, you lost and you could have won. So then that affects you both your account and your psychology because you're spending the rest of the day like, man, I should have held it. I should have held it. I should have held it. So I don't deal with these types of mental gymnastics. I just accept it, let the market do what it does. If it takes us out, it takes us out. If it keeps us in, it keeps us in. And at the end of the day, We are risk to reward traders. When we see our opportunities, we shoot, and we allow price to do the rest. If we're meant to be in a trade, we'll be in a trade. We're not meant to be in a trade, we'll hit stop loss. We got it wrong. We go up to the next day, and we charge it to the game. Yeah, but overall for GU, like I said, I don't see this to be a bullish market for GU. So because I don't see that for GU, it's making me less sure about EU. Even though EU didn't have a medium inducement, I'm looking at GU price action. This medium inducement could be valid for GU. Could be valid. It happened in a key time at 9:45, and it's a high that led to a low that broke structure this previous day. The only thing that can invalidate it is if GU comes above this trend line, this line right here, and takes it out. Because GU just did this inducement here. Or these build-ups. GU had a level of build-up with a buyer inducement here. So if this inducement can push price above to show that buyers are still in control, then yeah, GU could potentially invalidate this. But right now we're in between these two, this inducement and this inducement. So we don't know who's in clear control for GU yet. That's why you see EU is in this limbo within our zone, you know? So I'm not too, what's the word? I'm not too certain with the EU trade yet. Depending on where this 15-minute candle closed, right here. If we close bullish towards our zone, perhaps I'll hold a recording up until TP so we can review the P&L. But if price still continues to remain within these range or even hit stop loss, then I'll cut the recording so that way we don't have to have a long video. The most that we were able to take from this trade today, quick review, is understanding the control of the market. As you can see, we've had many buyer inducements leading up to our zone. We took the initial first stop loss of the sell because we misanalyzed based on our preparation. We misanalyzed where we were in the market. We identified that we wanted to have a continuation trade, but we ended up positioning ourselves for a counter sell in order to buy up, which was unnecessary. So we took the first stop loss was an unnecessary stop loss because all we had to do was simply wait for a price to give us an entry opportunity to buy the market up, not sell the market down, then buy up. So that's what I would charge that first loss to, which is fine because shortly after we were able to come into the second half of that push and see this possible position and see if we can get the push up to the previous day high. So that's where we're currently at. That's what I would speak on for this overall lessons from this session, is understanding the control, the inducements, who's leading the show. From this range here, you can see we've had buyer pushed above, who was in buys, price came back down, swept, induced these levels, these lows right here, gave us a buyer inducement that pushed up, came back, another buyer inducement that pushed up, did another build up here, gave us another buyer inducement that pushed up, came back, gave us an inducement of these lows on a lower time frame, it's more clear, gave us an inducement of these equal lows to continue. So we can see several buyer inducements were leading the show. And that's what we would charge today's, we would pick pick from today's lesson is that buyer inducements led the way. And because of that, we were looking to continue that direction. Buys, 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 buy. All of this is buyer inducements pushing the same as you see with GU, which was their final buyer inducement here that could potentially push up. But as for EU, we can see that the buyer inducements are still trying to lead the show, potentially to this previous day high. But let's let the market play out and we will know for sure. Okay. All righty. Let's go back to the 15-minute time frame and let price do its thing. We are 10 minutes away from 11 o'clock, the final hour of the market. This is where we do cut off our entry looks. We do not look for trades around these area once we reach 11, the last hour. Unless we are close to our zones, we do not enter any trade. So as you can see, price is back again, pushing in our direction. So let's see what we get. Did I put this in here? Analysis. Oh, yeah, I did. Some of these guys were in cells. So let's let the market do its thing. At this point, we are moving very slow. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in these situations, I don't even like to just sit here and watch this like price action. I would much rather just go do something else. In this case, go to the gym, prepare, make my lunch or breakfast. I'm honestly still on this chart because of this recording. I want you guys to see a bit more of what's going on, a bit more of the price action, a bit more of the way the market can move. As you can see, from day one, day two, day three, even now day four, every opportunity is different. Every trade window is different. Every execution is different. And the way the chart moves towards your TP is different. Even the way it moves towards your stop loss, sometimes it'll give you hope and push, 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 and then retrace back to your stop loss. Sometimes it'll come back, almost scare you out of your position to where you're about to close and then push again. So you get to see and read all the different ways that the market can move. As you can see, GU is doing similar. It's giving all this FOMO that it could be a sell because of this medium inducement. So it's giving all of the the fear of holding to get some sellers, to get some buyers to come out and sellers to hold. So all of this, even in our situation, we're in buys. All this could be keeping the buyers in. As we could see, price literally put us in a pickle for EU. Excuse me, not I mean to go to the GU. I want to go to EU. Price put us in the middle of two probabilities where buyers and sellers can be valid. We had one leg, retrace, and a two leg. Now, the only thing that in my perspective, I wouldn't like for this two leg is because we mitigated a demand. And the demand mitigation makes me feel like this supply shouldn't hold. And then price came back, respected the two leg, perhaps inviting them in. But if they were targeting this low, they still hit TP. And now price is reacting from this inducement here, pushing above here. So what does that tell me? There's uncertainty in the market right now. There's a lot of uncertainty in the market, and we could potentially be in a consolidation zone well within these areas. So that's something else that to keep in mind. If we are in this consolidation zone, then price will now have to pick a side, maybe come induce the lows of this consolidation range. I could say right here, from this low to this high, and this is where we've just been consolidating within this box. So price could easily say, let me pick a side, either take the high, could then come take the low, or take the low, mitigate this demand to then take the high. All of that is probabilities that we could, that could play out. So I don't quite like this price action too much. I don't like when price is just lingering around my entry zone. Most cases, it's because the zone may not hold in most cases. So in this case here, we're just gonna let this 15-minute candle close. I want to see if this 15-minute candle closes a body above this here previous candle. If we can get a body close above this, then I can hold to say that this price is going to continue bullish. If it doesn't close a body, then the odds are price is going to continue down to the downside. There's about 2 minutes left. And the way price is moving right here does not look promising for that. And then you see GU on the other hand, which was almost once bullish on this side, is now pushing down again. So there is very much levels of uncertainty in the market right now. Uncertainty in the market. We've been having strong bullish candles. So anticipation of this bullish move. With BOS to the upside. We would like to see price continue up and finish this bullish move. I'm not gonna lie, that big bearish candle that mitigated our zone, like I said, it caught me off guard so much that I was like, what the heck? I questioned, was there news? Did I miss something? Because I know we checked the news. Just happened so aggressively. It's crazy. Okay, so the last few minutes or seconds, GU decide to turn around. Let's see if GU can push above this wick here. And if EU as well can close at least a body on this line. It's 24 seconds. Let's see what we can get from these two pairs. A body close above this previous line would confirm the bullish move. And for GU, doesn't necessarily have to close a body, but at least keeping this bullish intention would confirm it. So EU 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so it did not close a body. So I don't think we're going to continue bullish. I think price may melt for EU, unfortunately. I think this is going to be a melt. So should I close based on what I know now, understanding that this is not just me assuming, this is based on previous experience with the market. When a 15-minute candle closes like this, usually it's because price is not going to be able to push higher. See, it couldn't close a body above it. So it looks like we most likely might get a bearish to the downside. And similar might happen with GU. So we can close that trade and let price finish off the bearish move, or we can just accept, you know what, just let it hit the stop loss instead. But it's just one of those calls, one of those calls, honestly. Because at this point, we already know this is not going to continue bullish. We did not close a body on a 15-minute. Most cases, that's how I've seen it play out. If we would close a body above here, it would have continued in most cases. But usually when we don't close a body above that 15-minute candle, price is not able to continue higher. All right, so without further ado, we could minimize our risk by closing this trade and letting price finish off for today, which is probably going to be this melt down because we are due for this retracement. As you can see, the market is trying to show us. So let me take a look actually on the 1 minute just to see if there is any possible buildups that price can be interested in. That can confirm weakness to high, low, high, traded character, break. Did it induce this imbalance? Yeah, so no, I don't think so. This imbalance here is what price is pushing off of to continue the bearish pressure coming from this two-leg mitigation. This was the mitigation of the two-leg. Price came back, swept above this zone, mitigated the imbalance, and hasn't broke underneath this low yet, but I believe that's definitely possible. From this build up here, this trendline build up, we can get an inducement that push low, or price could just push low from this fake bullish move right here. So that's it, guys. We are going to exit this position and just let the market finish off for today. As you can see, there's not enough volume in the market for price to give us the momentum push that we need. So we'll just simply let the market do its thing for the rest of the day. All right, so that's all for today, guys. We couldn't make it to the TP. As you see, price just came into this consolidation range and just kind of stuck there. We maxed out our pip range for the day. So I don't see this market to push back all the way up here end of the day. Same thing with GU. So with that, we're going to call it a day. We took one stop loss for today, and we've closed this trade right here early. So at roughly around $100 into the drawdown. As you see, price just reached into this zone right here. So we'll let this trade close out, and then we will pick up on day 5. Without further ado, talk to you guys soon. Peace.